If you were to ask me at about 2 o'clock today, hey Justice, what was the most interesting part of your day? I probably would have said interviewing Terrell Owens and Chris Mullen about pickleball, which that's a real thing. That's a story that's going to be coming out, I believe, tomorrow morning. That was my morning. And if you were to ask me that question now, it's about 6 o'clock. It's roughly going to be 6 o'clock by the time this video posts. I think the answer still might be interviewing Terrell Owens and Chris Mullen about pickleball.
It's your one, Vern.
But if there was to be a close second, or close first, if there was to be a competitor to that, it would obviously be the San Francisco Giants, reportedly agreeing with Justin Verlander to a one-year contract worth $15 million. The $15 million figure comes from ESPN's Jesse Rogers. And this comes roughly about a week and 2 days after the Giants missed out on signing Corbin Burnes. Obviously, that was someone who they were really big on. That was someone who could have just instantly improved their rotation, made things a little bit easier as far as competing in the NL West. That didn't pan out. He ends up going to the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's fair to say it was a move that shocked the industry. A lot of people thought he was either going to the Giants or to the Blue Jays. He ends up going to neither. And when Burnes elected to sign with the Diamondbacks, the question for the Giants, at least in my perspective, essentially became what now? Because at the point in time that Burnes signed with the Diamondbacks, and I talked about this in the previous video as well, the majority of quality arms on the free agent market had signed up to that point. If you look at the list of arms who had signed, it was the likes of Yusei Kikuchi, Blake Snell, Max Fried, Alex Cobb, Sean Manaea. Pretty much every quality arm who wasn't named Jack Flaherty had signed up to that point. And I started pondering what the Giants' best course of action might be from there. And Buster Posey has talked a lot about how high he is on these young arms. Zach Manazian has echoed those sentiments as well. And I believe it was either in that video or another article that I posted, I proposed the idea of maybe it might be in their best interest at this point in time to go get somebody like a Justin Verlander, like a Max Scherzer, someone who has been around the block, someone who has a lot of experience, and someone that can help mentor some of these young arms. The young arms being Kyle Harrison, Hayden Birdsong, Landon Rupp, Mason Black, Keaton Wynn, Carson Weisenhunt, guys like that. And in signing Verlander, the Giants have found someone who can kind of fill into that role, that mentorship role, and really help these young starters find their way at the major league level. Now, that being said, Justin Verlander isn't simply being brought in here to play a mentorship role. He's being brought in here to kind of fill out this rotation. And it is going to be interesting to see exactly how this rotation shakes out, because as currently constructed, this rotation features Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, and Hayden Birdsong. The two main options that they have, at least just kind of looking at the situation, is that they could move Hicks from the rotation to the bullpen. He has been a starter, or he has been a reliever rather, far longer than he's been a starter. They moved him to the bullpen at the end of last year as he was managing his workload. Or the second option could be to roll with a six-man rotation, the aforementioned five plus Verlander. I think that one personally makes a little more sense, given that, despite the fact that Verlander in his prime was someone that could give you 200 plus innings nearly every year. I believe in 2022 he pitched 175, 2023 he was down to 163, and last year, because of some nagging injuries, he was down to not even 100. I want to say it was roughly 90, and that's a good transition to the fact that last year was the worst season by far of Justin Verlander's career. Now, obviously, he's set a very high standard. He's going to end up with a plaque in Cooperstown. He's been an MVP. He's won the Cy Young Award 3 times. He's a 9-time All-Star. He's won Rookie of the Year. He's won 2 World Series. He's done pretty much everything there is to do in this game. But last year, he was afflicted by 2 ailments, the first being right shoulder inflammation, the second being a neck ailment. And regarding the neck ailment in particular, Verlander did admit that he tried to come back too quickly. And this kind of leads to the overall question of what exactly the Giants might be able to get from Justin Verlander. And if we're just looking at it from a bird's eye perspective, he is going to be 42 years old by the time opening day hits. He is coming off the worst season of his career. It is fair to think that the Giants won't be able to get much out of Verlander as far as productivity. But that being said, I haven't had an opportunity to really dive into the numbers, and I do want to put together a video similar to the Willy Adames one that went up last year. And side note, I'm very happy with the way that video's been received so far. But, I haven't had an opportunity to do that real deep dive yet, but one of the numbers that really stuck out to me was going on Fangraphs and seeing that last year Verlander had a stuff plus of 117. Considering the fact that he was dealing with injuries last year, and obviously that hindered his productivity, the fact that he was able to maintain a stuff plus at that level at his age is at least somewhat encouraging that he might be able to have better success in a Giant uniform next season. Like I said, I do plan to do a full video breakdown on Verlander in conjunction with an article that I'll probably be writing tomorrow about it as well. When that comes out, who's to say? And the one thing that, we obviously have to talk about as well, with it being Justin Verlander. When you say Justin Verlander and San Francisco Giants, the one thing that's going to instantly pop into the minds of pretty much every Giants fan is Game 1 of the 2012 World Series. Verlander allows 5 runs in 4 innings in Game 1. He's outdueled by Barry Zito. Pablo Sandoval hits 2 of his 3 home runs off of Verlander en route to becoming, what was it at the time, the second player to hit 3 home runs in a World Series? No, I would believe it's third because Pujols did it the year before. Either way, the editor Justice will correct that in a second. But obviously that game setting the stage for what was a 4-game sweep of the Detroit Tigers, and who was on that team? Buster Posey. And I'm going to be very curious to know the answer from both Verlander and Posey as to what those conversations may have been like, and the fact that Verlander is now going to be wearing the uniform of the team that defeated him in the World Series.